Now we have a problem with this picking up my game. Wow, this drives me nuts with this game. Let me fix this because it's not showing the game for some reason. Let's go to Nightingale, okay. So, is it not, for some reason it's not picking up the game. They have a new mode in this. Excuse me for anybody who's watching who doesn't see the picture yet. I'm trying to see why this is not now picking up the game as it normally does. But they have an offline game now, game mode. This is just so weird. What? Why is that even something that's showing up? Alright, apparently this is not wanting to capture the game now for some reason, and I don't understand it, so I don't think I'm going to be able to get the stream up and running because it just doesn't seem like it's going to let me. So let's try this another way. So I'm going about this a different way now. Okay. So that's going to let me bring it up. Bring this down here. All right. So now hopefully you get, yeah, people can see this now. Okay. So part of the issue with this is the game not starting up properly. Over here. What the fuck? Nothing but there's something's going on online nowadays, or now, not nowadays. Something's going on online now that wasn't happening before. Now I'm trying to fix it, but I was having some issues. One was definitely this. Okay, so anyway, The patch has finally come out. There's some changes to the game. I'm hoping that the changes are good and that we don't have any issues with them. There's not no problems. I'm going to try the offline mode, which means you don't need an internet connection for this. We're going to test it out, see how well it plays. I do believe that you have to create a new character. I don't think you can start your old saves online. But even still, that'll explain the title, A New Start, maybe. Maybe because we don't know how the playing offline is going to go. And again, like I said, they've added some new things like being able to build now from your inventory, which is, a good idea, so that I don't have to go back and continually pick up items to make things. So now we can build our stuff from our inventory and we don't have to worry about it. And then we can craft our stuff from our inventory. And then it gave us some more options for the follow NPC. So I'm curious to see that also. And then some other things within the game. I didn't read the full patch notes. I just watched one of the videos that explained a little bit about it. I believe they added another blunderbuss or a level to the blunderbuss that would allow you to do more damage or whatever. We talked about the blunderbuss. I think it's a trash weapon to begin with, so I don't think it's effective, but we're going to check it out now. So let's go. My desktop volume is apparently something wrong with that too now all of a sudden out of nowhere. I don't know why this is so low. You should hear some of it now. I think I was entirely too... I think my voice is up way too loud for this, for some reason. Anyway, let's go in there. Wait, settings, audio, right? Audio. Oh, I turned down the music volume, not the actual... Okay. So there's a little bit more volume there. The game volume's still there, but the music I turned down a little bit. Why you would be able to enable voice chat in an offline mode is beyond me, but okay. So let's test this out. New profile, of course, right? Oh, also they've given you a little bit more control over your character apparently, and it seems like they kind of made the characters look actually better. I mean, this character looks way better than they initially did. Even the outfit, the colors and the textures look way better. So they've done some work on this, without a doubt. So we'll get into our basics right now. There are more options for body type now, as you can see. There you go. So you can make yourself bigger, smaller. I don't know, look more fat, I guess. I guess that's what they're going for. I don't rightfully know yet, but let's create our character. See what we want to do. I don't generally like bushy eyebrows, so the age is fine. We'll change some stuff with them. So we've done something there. Skin, he's real peachy looking, but it's just, yeah, there we go. Scar's still not there, tattoo's still not there, of course. Hair color is fine. The hairstyle is what I'm looking to change. Eyebrows, absolutely. We are going to, yep, much better. Okay, some facial hair. It's not a lot of facial hair. Again, there's not a lot of facial hair opportunities in this game. I mean, you could go something like that. That actually looks fairly decent. It doesn't look too bad. But I would like a full beard option, so I can make them bald with a beard. I think I'm okay with that. Head. Good. Eyes. Eye color is always an issue with me. something more along those lines, I think. Slight yellowish to them. I mean, we can go darker. They went gray or something, so. Yeah, I like that. Much darker. It gives more definition to his face, the iris, everything else. Good, 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 good. Now let us mouth and teeth. That's fine. Makeup none, step 3. So now there's something with starting equipment, right? So there, you get this equipment from the door. There's a loadout also. They gave you some options. Okay. Laborer's attire. Modest outfit. Arcane garb. Okay. You can get the... They should have offered this from the beginning anyway. Not big on the formal. No, come on. Really? Okay, hold on. Hold on. I do say I'm rather dashing there, young fellow. Oh, look at this. It matches my eyes. Gonna have to go military, I guess. Loadout. And we're gonna go arcane garb. Sorry, we're going magician, arcane garb. Yeah, I like that. That's what we're gonna do. I saw them throwing the sickle in the game, so I'm assuming you can throw the sickle at enemies. Story. I guess academic would match that more or less. Difficulty, realm is medium. Starting point, tutorial. Although now you can pick, skip the tutorial, start immediately in the Forest of Bane's realm with all unlocks you would have earned in the tutorial. The Forest of Bane's realm represents the easiest path to establishing your home in Nightingale. Forests are rich with resources for building and crafting. Periodically it will rain and hail. To stay safe and dry, use shelter and umbrella. Now, the swamp, okay, part of the reason why I like the swamp is getting materials for your base are fairly easy, right? And on top of that, I haven't run into any mob in the swamp that runs from you. So you will be able to kill and get your leather and your other materials that you need. Fairly simple. So I'm going to start in the swamp. I know a lot of people don't like the swamp because of the poison that you can get from it and other things. But I kind of like the swamp because, again, things don't run from you. As long as you're progressing through the swamp rather rapidly, you don't run into those issues with how should I say, getting the, I forget what it is. You get a disease. You can get disease in the swamp, so you don't run into those issues with the disease. And even if you do, you pop your stuff and you're gonna be okay. So we're gonna finalize this. Skipping that area, we are going to call ourselves Twisted Tea, of course. Hey, normal gameplay server related functions handled on your PC, higher and PC recommending you use and progress your characters saved on your PC. Live content co-op Multiplayer and social features are disabled. Character profiles cannot be shared across online offline modes, but this looks like that will be changed in the future because they did mention something about the profiles.
Before time itself, the realms have existed.
See ya. Don't need to watch it. Anyway, so what I'm hoping for, I don't understand the whole having to be online anyway for the game that people paid for. I think you lock people into a service, and then what if the game decides to quit developing it and all the other stuff? Does the live service end? Does the online playability end? And then you can only play it offline to begin with because you own the game. So the first thing I'm noticing is that there was some lag in here that I didn't notice. Fortunately,
Shadows abound, yet like a fire's final embers. Count thyself. Oh, I come. Give me your hands. Oh, this realm has long, but beware. The gift I promise, while I know man's impulse is to...
So I don't have anything right now to slice them up, but I thought they said they'd give you everything you would have gotten. Anyway. Alright. Well, we know that's not the case right now, so I need to get to one of the corners. I gotta get to the edges of the map so I can see. Stamina is somewhat important for this build, I think. Funny knife. Looks like they changed this up slightly. How am I supposed to repair if I can't access the repair? You're not letting me get into what I have on me. You don't even have no essence. I may redo this to go back to the tutorial because then I have everything I need and I need They weren't lying about they were not lying about how that might be what it is. A lot of people with issues. You're gonna have to definitely set that up. So nothing that you would have gotten in the tutorial you would have made all these things already in the tutorial. this now? We used to get that right here. Ugh. I'm like a little lost because I just think that no longer can do that either. Alright. So I need to go to... That's the pool. I can't go there yet. I have to go to here. Alright, let's go. Now that I have a knife, I can do some stuff. Oh man, that sucks. It's a horrible way to do this. Thank you very much. Nope. Alright, you guys got it. Win! Seriously? Usually I have everything set up. I don't know what that was about. Just getting totally rocked. They were playing around. Usually they're much easier to do. Might just be because I'm not ready for them. Swamp isn't. There's a Hello, Pauline. I'm gonna leave you keep on doing you do your best. Because you're gonna be of course. There's supposed to be a radio menu. Follow me, work here, stand here, set menu. So the behaviors around the attack and how they Now you're gonna follow me, right, you nut? What are you doing, friend? I do believe we are going to go back and try something. And go So we're going to start again. We are going to Yep. Only because I don't like the fact that I don't have what I want to begin with. And do I really need to play it offline? I don't really need to play it offline, so. So we're going to go here. We are going to delete profile, delete, see ya. And we're going to delete profile, delete, see ya. We're going to delete you, Peter Pettigrew. Now we will start again. And I apologize for this, but I am going to pick myself a female this time and put them in a dress. So I think the dress looks better than the goddamn stupid outfit that I had. Let's see. Oh, that did not look like... You can go that route, because that looks like an in-betweener. Excuse me. Step 2. Hair. Hairstyle. Change hair. Yeah, I like that. Okay, it's course, no facial hair. Eyebrows should be as thin as possible. It's a female. Come on. Even thinner. Very much look like a lady. Hair color. Gotta make them Irish. Know what we're doing here. Nope, not that color. That color's fine. And then that color. They have no facial hair. Okay. Definitely a green. We can go dark green. Light green. I like dark green better. Mouth. Makeup. I don't really know much about this shit. I don't really want to get into it. That's okay. Equipment will be that or that. Why does women look so weird, especially from the sides? They do. They look fucking weird. Hey, Mary Poppins. I just don't know. No, I'm not even going to play a female. Let me get back up here. Basics. It's not even funny. Oh god. That's I don't like his nose curling downward like that. It's just so weird looking. You look just too old. Back out of this. Here. Get them out of a freaking dress. Okay. Where is it? Age. Where's her clothes again? Equipment. Looks like we're sticking with that, buddy. I don't like how this works, though. It doesn't work very well. This is probably something like this would work way better in the desert where there's not a lot of obstacles. But that right there was just crazy how that worked. I don't know if this really gives you any bonuses to anything. It's just your starting loadout, I guess. Yeah. go drifter and you get nothing, but I mean, you're gonna go through the tutorial, so. Oh, we do gotta fix him though. Shit. I forgot about him. Nice. Hair, color.
Before time itself, the realms have existed.
Alright, I don't believe I'm skipping the tutorial this time. I hope I'm not skipping the tutorial this time. I don't think so. But I already like the decent number of options that they gave you. It increases it a little bit. Makes you feel a bit more attached to your character. Excuse me. Drinking my coffee. So I like that aspect of it, at least for now. We'll see how well it fares here.
Let my words steer your steps.
Okay. Let me just make sure all my settings are up.
Whither wander you, lost in our Feywild?
I'm assuming that there's a lot of people playing this at the moment, so.
Show haste, human. Quickly, before those bound fiends snip out your despair. Shadows abound. I can take these. Give me your hand. Hurry, travel.
I like this because I get to go into the forest. I get those berries. I like the berries. I like getting into the desert because I like the flowers. The flowers are probably some of the best early game foods you can get. Give you a lot of stamina. This way, if you need to use stamina, you're not just chewing through your stamina very rapidly. Like I just was skipping the tutorial. I guess it pays to go through the tutorial then at this point. I just wanted to see what it was like. And I found out I didn't like it. So this is what I like more of. I don't know why that happened, but hey, I liked it without the grass. Go back to that. Anyway.
Count thyself among the fortunate few who manage to flee the Pale's noxious.
You know what? Hold on a second. This changes the game up. Right? I mean, it would. This actually does change the game up somewhat. Part of that's going to be... Hold on. We're starting again. I'm sorry. Because there's something I want to check. And... I'm going to do this again. I'll get through it pretty quickly this time, though. Since I already know what I want to do. But I'm definitely deleting this character and making a new one. Play online. Okay. Delete profile. Let me see. Create a new profile. Okay, step 1 is going to be the basics, body type. We're okay there. But you can change the body types slightly. It's like he can be, I guess he's more muscular here. Is that what we're looking at here? I mean, that didn't look like much change between one and... This one gives you a little bit more. And then you're fatter. And then I don't know what you are there. But here you'll be larger. This is more muscular. Yeah, I don't like my guy looking all weird and skinny. Like overly skinny. That's what the dude looked like. Like he was just like overly thin. No blondies. Can care less about blonde hair, blue eyes. Just give me an average looking person. They give you very over exaggerated features. That's the guy I just was. But he looks the most normal out of them all, to be honest with you. Age, bring him down, okay. Ancestry. Skin, yeah, we definitely gotta darken you up just a tad, my man. No, you know what? Right there. That's what I want. Hair. Hairstyle. Let's work on that first. Nope, eyebrows first. That's fine. Hairstyle. No, of course not. caveman. And the eyes throw me off all the time. That looks better. You just gotta change your eyes, buddy. Give you a mustachio. Yep, I'm gonna keep you like that. Definitely get rid of these things. These are who went and made these and thought these were good presets to fucking make for you guys? Like, what person sat there and went, you know what? Those eyes are really banging. Let me make them eyes like that. Like, who did that? Absolutely not. Eyes ain't so beady then. Depth? 100%? Let me see. That's right. I like you with bigger eyes, buddy. Little beady ass eyes you have, man, were freaky. Oh shit. You look like a bug-eyed bitch right now. You did look okay in that thing until I just scrolled out. And now you look really fucking freaky. It's gotta be your body shape. Yeah, that's what it was. Your body shape was just strange. Alright, let's see. What do we want you as? A Bobby? You want to be a Bobby? That's not a Bobby, but military? Yeah, let's go full on military. No, can't be. I'll make you somewhat of a gentleman. How's that? Your loadout, though. You're definitely getting that. Difficulty, finalize. Nah, I don't want you. Hold on, I'm sorry. I don't like that modest outfit. We're gonna make you this. You're gonna be a laborer, buddy. Let's go. All right, I did that because I wanted to see something. There's a loadout that they give you. Now, through the tutorial section, you don't have a weapon. So I don't know if they're going to try and give you that loadout at the beginning. And if they do, that's a little bit of a game changer. And I'm going to tell you why when I get in the game. There's a reason for it. I don't think it'll greatly hurt the game at all because it is just solely a tutorial initially.
Let my words steer your steps.
Okay, yeah.
How now, fleshling? Whither wander you lost in our Feywilds?
So now you generally should run from these guys,
Human,
but I think,
quickly, before those bound fiends.
and I'm going to try it. This is another test that I'm going to do. I'm going to see
Shadows
if I can fight
abound.
these guys.
Yeah, I come with them. Take these. Give me your hands.
I don't know if they'll let me,
Hurry your travel.
but I'm going to try anyway. So we'll do this, pop this up, we'll open the portal. But that's not what I want to see. This,
Fly, Realm Walker. The fiends have caught your despairing stench.
it's a lot, but can I fight them? So the answer is yes, you can, but no, you can't. That's going to be my answer right there. But that's okay, because I expected that much at least, you know, to be swarmed like that, because that's how you're swarmed anyway from the beginning of the game. But giving you a weapon, is there an advantage then at that point? Could you effectively kill all those mobs and get whatever drops from those mobs then? So getting another early jump start on the end game part, not the end game, but the early game part. So this, I like not having anything on the ground because I can see everything. Kill you all. So give me the chance to kill you all, please. Thank you very kindly. Alright, so there's no real... Okay. So since I can't craft the knife and all, killing us don't even make any sense. I thought maybe... Yeah, you can see what I thought, so... Would have been nice had you been able to. Now, this is what's funny about this. You just see me chop that tree down, right? You would assume that that tree would produce a significant amount of wood. And it actually doesn't produce any more wood than chopping this tree down. Or this tree down. By any large amount whatsoever. For the amount of time it takes. So they wound up fixing the tree issue, thankfully. And I appreciate that from them. Way better animation than what they had on it.
Count thyself among the four. Nightingale, the gift with the man-made in the interim. I hear your stomach snarling. Take reprieve from misery and gorge yourself. Oh. have avoided him. We must carry forth the portal stand.
So, them giving you a tool in the beginning doesn't really change the gameplay that much at all. Maybe getting, if you wanted to farm out that whole area, you might get more, essence out of it. Have a ton of essence when you go into the game, but none of it is a game changer.
Summer runs through my being as blood runs. How? Whether.
I didn't really want to do that, but I just did. Oh well. I gotta get some more. So many different things for that, so. God, I'm already so bored with this game, even with the improvements. I'm still bored with this game. I don't think there's anything that's going to make me not bored with this game. Anything that you can do. I just think I have maybe a bias towards it because of the slowness of the gameplay. I don't know. I mean, I don't want to feel that way. Gotta be honest, I really don't want to feel that way, but it just seems like no matter what I do, I'm going to feel that way anyway. I really had hoped that I could have given this game a real good chance, because when it was first coming out, I thought the concept of the game, the art style, everything was amazing. But as you play the game, you realize that the length of time it really takes you to get anywhere in the world, it just becomes a headache. The inability to move your base, the issues with having to rebuild or new area and put up a new anything. It just, I don't know. I like the fact that the game that I'm currently engaged in allows me to move my base. It has guns in it that feel substantial. There's a ton of mobs in the game, not just changing the way they react, but different types of mobs in the game. And the art design of it is, I don't know, it just seems a little bit better. I don't know, more appealing, more aesthetically pleasing. I think what it is that I just don't like how slow it is to get going in this game. Even skipping the tutorial, you just gimped yourself if you skipped the tutorial. And I think they knew that that was going to be an issue. I'm not really interested in playing the game. I have to be honest with you. It just doesn't appeal to me at the moment. It may, after the other game that I play winds up coming out of the beta testing, but as it stands now, it just doesn't appeal to me. I know that's an issue with this game. I know that if all these changes that they're trying to implement now would have been in the game prior to it, it might have made the game a much more enjoyable experience, because even those people that are at end game now are going to miss out on a lot of the content that is updating the game. It's just a very long, drawn out, boring, melancholy type of game. Really, that's exactly what it is. There's no real threats. There really isn't. There's no real great rewards. Everything has to be farmed and just, the card system, without a doubt, the best aspect of the game. Changing the rooms within the transmitter or whatever it is. Great idea. Great addition to the game. It made the worlds feel different. It did. And could cater towards what you were looking for, especially with like early game essence and stuff like that. But the process of getting essence, that's another issue. If you're on a tier 2 world where you can get tier 2 essence, then everything on that world should be able to grant tier 2 essence. I shouldn't have to struggle to get tier 2 essence. And I feel as though that's part of the that's part of the problem with the game also. I really can't get into the game, and I want to. I really do. When I saw this update, I'm like, okay, good. Maybe there's something here that can catch me. Man, there's nothing that can really catch me. It doesn't really matter. Like I said, they can give you tools in the beginning, unless you have all the tools from that first world. I think eliminating you with those types of things are part of the issue. I'm pretty sure you can go back through the portal, maybe. It doesn't look like you actually went through the portal. To get back. I wish it would. That you can go backwards. So you can go to that first world, maybe farm out all the gear that are there, and get the meat for that and stuff like that. And then you can make things in the tutorials and ingredients that have made for things that were made. So you get a much cleaner start. And I wish they would give you real substantial weapons for the door. The fucking sling bow. It's atrocious that the sling, if you start in a forest world and it says it's easy, and you're trying to look for meat and hide, hunting deer is not an option for you with the sling bow, because as soon as you hit the deer, they're gone. And it doesn't kill them, so it's very underwhelming weapon. Very underwhelming weapon. Completely fucking useless, to be honest with you. Might have a purpose of killing certain types of mobs, but it should be able to one-hit deer. I shouldn't have to 2-hit or 3-hit a deer in order to knock it down, because after the first hit, it runs. It's gone, and so does all the other deer, so I don't know. I just, again, it's that weird gameplay where, and there's no real magic in the game, right? Like, let me be able to cast fucking lightning or something, not apply it to a weapon and then have to use the weapon in order to do it, and then it's limited and you have to redo it every now and then, or whatever the fuck that mechanic is with that, which I never found out anyway in the game at all, how to utilize that mechanic. Because there was a healing aspect one that I wanted to use, and I didn't know how to do it, and there was no real fucking tutorials on it, so it was dumb as shit. Sorry to say, but your game has fucking issues, and you need to fix it. Like, your game has more issues as a finished product, even though you're in early access, than the beta I just played on the other game. It just, I don't know how a AAA developer, or a developer that's backed by a AAA publishing company, could put out something like this without thinking, wow, is the gameplay monotonous? Is it tedious? Is it substantial enough to hold people's attention? Because I would say no. There are people in this game that like it. That's fine. I know there are people. I like the concept of the game. I like the lure behind the game, But the gameplay itself is monotonous, it's tedious, and it's slow, and it's bland, to be honest with you. It's very bland. And that is part of the problem. It's just bland. It's just okay. Mediocre. Mediocrity. That's what I think. If the developers were striving for that, they hit their mark on that. You had potential here, like great potential with the world development and all other stuff, to be able to do a whole slew of other things in the game, but it's just, character design is goofy and weird looking. It reminds me of I mean, something like Redfall, or like those characters that look like that, awkwardly built and thing. I don't know. It's just not. It's not appealing to me. I thought it would be, but it's just not. And I think you're trying to put a flavor on it, but the flavor's missing. I don't get like a real Fae vibe from the game. I really don't, except for when Puck's there, and even then, it's just dialogue, right? So I don't get this enormous Fae vibe. The fairy tales that are involved in the Fae worlds and stuff like that. I don't get any of that. Any of that. So, and it seems like the better content is at the end game. So there is a play purpose there. Get to the end game so you can get the better content and all the better stuff and better looking gear. But just having to fight through all that. It was the same with Enshrouded. Enshrouded has potential. I mean, people who like building fucking love Enshrouded because they build all these hobbit holes and huts and all this other stuff. It was the same with Valheim. But the content is so slow and tedious. Just, again, monotonous and grindy. And I love grindy games, but not this one. I don't know what it is. I can't put my finger on it. I really can't. Because I was I bought this game as soon as it came out. I wish listed the game and I wanted it right away. So, I mean, I had all the desire in the world to make this a staple of my games, and then, yeah. And I thought Enshrouded would be so much better because everybody was talking about it, and I got into Enshrouded. And Enshrouded is just another grindy, long, same gameplay, same loop, same go here, do this, come back here, build this, get this upgrade, go back out, go here, do this, build this, get this upgrade, go back out. And I mean, it's a very grindy, monotonous, tedious, tiresome genre that was dying, and a couple games brought it back. A couple hopeful games, this being one of them, brought the genre back to life. And then it's the same thing. Sons of the Forest, identical, same thing. Nothing different about the game. Same as the game before it. Boring characters, no real engaging storyline, stupid mechanics, uninteresting mobs, and a world that seems like it's big and it has a lot to do in it, but it's basically just trees, beach, and rocks, and some food. And that's it. That's it. Post-apocalyptic. I want a genuine post-apocalyptic game that is set in a city or a couple of different cities that you can go to, or maybe even the whole entire North American world, or any other fucking continent, or any other country, any other continent. That you can go to any other country, to any other city, and you got the same type of vibes. A desolate, kind of like a Legend, but with more shit in it. Where you have the area, you're in a torn up city. You can go into any building you want to. There's actual stuff left behind that you can scavenge and farm, that because of the millions of people that died off or left. And you're in there and you're fighting, and there's, you're fighting against illnesses and diseases and other people, and what the day before was offering, but on a much larger scale. That's the type of, I mean, if you look at the Division 2's environment, it's gorgeous. It is. It's fucking absolutely gorgeous. I mean, they have one of the best put together environments that I've ever seen, that make it really feel like you're in a fucking city. Problem is that not every building can you go into. There's nothing to do in the buildings. They're bland. But if you can make a game that has all that, you can go into every single building, and there's something in that building at least interesting, or something that you can do in those buildings. Even if you start out with one city and you just perfect it, you got a game, man. Explorable, Maybe you can't explore it by just going in the front door. Maybe you got to climb up a certain type of way, or you got to have a skill that allows you to get to a higher level in the building so that you can actually get into the building and then search the building. But then once in the building, every door, every fucking room, everything is searchable. Not that there's always something in it, but you can open them. You can go in. There's depth to the rooms. There's, you can see that it was lived in, or it's been ransacked, or whatever it is. That is an ultimate experience, like a truly immersive experience. Instead, what you get is games that look really good, like the Division 2, that have great playability, right? The Division 2. Their end game is a continual loop like everybody else's. But if you gave us the chance to explore everything, and hid secrets, I mean, you could just put stuff in like notes and like you do in the Division 2, notes and stuff like that. They give you hints towards things, and to where you can go search something, or just anything. That's why people just get again, the Division 2's environment is incredible, but you can't go in every building. You can't search every building. You lose. In any other circumstance, if that was you in a real world and that was a real world situation, you'd be able to get into the building somehow and be able to search the building. And why wouldn't you? You'd be looking for stuff to eat and food and scavenge and parts and all that other stuff. The game that I'm playing now gives you a little bit more options, but it's still not. It's not perfected. They need more. They need more environmental objects that are different. They need to. There's a reuse issue within the game where they reuse the assets repeatedly over and over and over and over and over again, and it seems like their assets are just copy and paste in a lot of them, but they have a game there that's somewhat engaging, and there's a lot of content hidden in the game for people to find if they really want to. The beta end game gets boring. It's the same loop, but it's not the end of the game. It's only the beta. So the actual game has an enormous amount of room for development in your character level, in the types of mobs that you come across, in the types of quests that you come across, in the types of buildings that you come across, if they utilize it correctly. And I have a very real worry that the game is just something really simple, and they're going to reuse all the assets to fill out the rest of the world. And if they do that, then it'll be, you'll run across the same asset 400 times instead of just 20 times. That'll get fucking boring. So they absolutely have to put other assets in the game, other buildings, other scenarios, other situations. If they don't do that, the game will die off rather rapidly, as it has during the beta, because people have reached end game and they don't feel like doing anything else. They don't want to go backwards. They only want to go forwards. And there's no content to go forwards with, except for the grind, which is the dungeon grind, which almost all MMOs have an issue with. Part of World of Warcraft's success during their best years was they had a world. They had a story that was tied in with cutscenes and everything else. That you kind of got invested into that. There was a quest line and quests that were fun to do, tied in other aspects of the game into the lore, and there was a lot of them. I mean, a lot of questing, and so you had to navigate through all that, and it was enjoyable, right? Very enjoyable. But what we got now is a lot of games trying to come in with these flashy mechanics and all this other stuff, and they forget, the quest, the story. I remember the old text Lineage 2, give a prime example. Lineage 2. It's an old game. And it's all text based for the most part. It does have some cutscenes and animations within it. The appeal with that was because it was a new game that you had to level up in, and you had to build your character, and then you had to go and own these castles and all this other stuff to benefit the most out of the game, and then fighting the dragon, Antares, and all. But the texts are generally skipped through, and it's been that way since MMOs have been out. So having a game full of nothing but text, even slightly animated with no voice acting and all, it really is it pulls you out of it, you know. Like, I like Guild Wars how they handled theirs. They had text and they had the voice acting, and the voice acting was actually fairly decent. So, and the animations were real basic, you know, a face-to-face, side-by-side, two-dimensional, which they made it look three-dimensional, flat character, like, you know, just talking to each other back and forth. But there was a story behind it, so you were listening to it because you had to listen to it because it gave you clues about what you were getting ready to get into, and it helped you with your gameplay. Now, we get this Puck who talks to you, but you're completely voiceless in the game, so there's no connection to your character. There really is no fucking connection to your character. If you can find a way to connect people to their character, to really invest in their character, you got a good game. Because they'll care about their character, and they'll play as though they're trying to make their character stronger or protect it, and, you know, all that other stuff. But Nightingale, I feel nothing for the fucking character that I'm controlling at all, except for the fact that I want to finish what I'm finishing so I can get the bonus or the points or bonuses or item that I want. You know, and that's it. It's the only reason. Doing the character creation doesn't even make me feel like I'm part of the character at all. You know, you just, I know a lot of people who go through it and they try to make the weirdest looking character possible so that they have something to talk about on the stream. You know, Neebs Gaming, hint, hint. They do that with their characters all the time, make them strange and unusual. But it's part of their comedy that they have within their bits and their skits. And it fits, you know, so they do very well. But it is just more or less like, oh, let me make the character the most outrageous I can so I can then incorporate that into my gameplay and style, and it looks weird and awkward and people laugh about it. Smart, but not necessary. If you have good content, the character design shouldn't really matter. But to the player, it should. You know, you should want your character to reach the end game. And unfortunately, in Nightingale, I have no desire. I mean, I played that game when it first came out. I think the highest I got was 40 something. And I just didn't like the game. I was struggling to even get to that. And I got nothing really, really fancy or new. Stuck in some goofy ass looking gear that I just, it was appalling. I didn't want to stay in it. I thought it was the most horrible. And I tried to make other gear, but your crafting system and having to move here to grab this and grab that was just tedious and fucking overwhelming. And I was like, I do not want to do this. And then even with the changes, I tried to get back and played for a day or two, and I was like, nope, can't do it. Today, I don't know, a couple hours, and I was like giving up on the game. And I love games. It's really, you know, I've been playing games for a long time. I love the fact that I can get into a game and lose myself in the game and be so enthralled with the game that I turn around and look at the clock and I go, oh shit, I got to get some sleep. Right? I love games like that. But Nightingale's not one of those games that make me do that even a little bit. And that's not my fucking fault. That's the developer's fault. That's having to add shit after, you know. Ain't no different. Shrouded did the same shit. Just another fucking, here we gotta get, I mean, even Valheim did the same thing. You know? brought the game out. People enjoyed the game. There was something to it, but then it was, oh, you have to wait for this content to come out, and this content to come out, and then this content to come out, and all that content is just basic stupid shit that should have been in the game to begin with before you even decided to release it. And I guess you're capitalizing on the monetary value of the game, you know, by bringing it out early and seeing how much interest there is in the game in order to do the things that you're supposed to do. But this game came out, what, months ago? And you're just now getting into shit where you can craft from your fucking storage. I mean, are you fucking ridiculous? I'm sorry to say it like that, but that's just some ignorant ass, fucking lazy ass development. You know, you guys thought of that shit as an afterthought, and every gamer in the world knows that's a requirement in games now. To be able to craft from your storage, I mean, just a basic bit, and you guys just put it in your game? Fucking insane. Insanity. And then this UI that you're trying to build off of the follow NPC, it's not really good, because again, we should still be able to access the thing's inventory at a distance, because when we're in our house, it doesn't want to follow us into the house. It wants to stay outside and walk around, and then we have to go chase it, and we load up so much product into it to make it a mule that it takes us forever to walk back to our fucking base, which is 6 feet away. Like, I don't get it. I don't get the way developers are developing games anymore. Redfall was a prime example of a game where there was a lot of promises, and the developer was going to do this, and the developer was going to do that, and then, you know, the blame is, oh, the publisher came in, and the publisher made them do this, and the publisher made them do that. No, not really. What the publisher did was won its return on its investment. Very typical. I hate fucking publishers for that, because it's only monetary, or it's only monetization that they care about. It's only money that they care about. So they try to rush it out the door. The developers did what they wanted. They went and rolled with it. And now your very company that was making the game is what? One of the games that are on the chopping block from Microsoft? Like one of those Arcane Studios is on the chopping block or some shit like that? Or has been chopped? You know, I mean, you guys got no balls. It's not like you deserved the studio to begin with, because you didn't have enough balls to put out the game that you guys wanted to put out. The game that was sold to the public. That's the problem with Redfall. Redfall sold a product just like the day before did. They sold products, a promise of a product, excuse me. They sold the promise of a product to the audience, and the audience wanted that version of the game that you promised. And then through the development process, you don't really tell them what's not going to be in a game. You just say, you know, we had to make some changes or this and that, and then you go in and give them a shit product, right? A very shitty product that has so many issues, it's unreal. And you wonder why people don't give a fuck whether or not your development studio crumbled. Because, again, if you're the leader of a development company, game development company, and you're dealing with a publisher, all of that shit should be worked out prior to you even starting to build the game. You present your game concept, your game design. Publishers go, oh, it's going to be great, blah, 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 blah. But we need to do it. Now, the publishers are going to go, we need to do it within this time frame. Can you do it? And your dumbass says yes. You say yes, because all you want to do is create your game. But the reality is, it's never going to be created in that time frame. And you just screwed over your fucking self, your game company, and every employee that worked for you. Because you said yes to a time, you said yes to a product, and you said you could do it, and then you can't. And every game development company runs into this issue in their lifetime, where they make a bold claim of a product that they are not going to be able to deliver. I love the concepts. Game developers are geniuses when it comes to the idea of a video game. They are. They can come up with so many good ideas for a video game. But implementing those ideas into an actual, tangible, playable video game that has those ideas intact in them, almost an impossibility. When the genres were new, when they were first coming out, we took them as such. The game, as long as it had good content in it and we could play it, was good enough because we had no expectation of the game beyond what we were playing. There were no promises about how much fun it was going to be and all the items that you were going to have into it and the gameplay loop that was going to be in the game and all this other stuff. Now, game developers seem to make a lot of promises, put a lot of expectations on themselves through their game, and then not being able to deliver that. And it's a shame because then it gets such a bad rap. Because again, publishers don't fucking care. You promised them something, you didn't give it to them. They want their money. They see potential to get money quickly, and they don't care where the game goes after that as long as they get their investment back, right? As long as they're not losing money and they're making money, they're happy. But don't back out of a game that's been in development a long time, that they've pushed in, that they pushed out there because your game is shitty, and take a loss because they know you'll never provide the game that you promised in the time frame that they need it to be done. So you got to be careful as a game developer. You can't just rush into something without, seeing. You can always say it's possible to develop the game the way that you see it. But is it really realistically feasible? Right? Because nothing's impossible. You can do what you need to do. But if you don't have the talent, if you don't have the time, and you can't actually bring your thoughts to reality in the game, the fuck, what purpose is it to continue to create the game? Just say fuck it. Take the loss. Take the hit and run. Because throwing out a piece of shit isn't going to help your development company at all. It won't. You might think, oh, we get it out there, even if some people like it, we can still continue. No, you're going to be a fucking pariah because you're going to continue to do the same thing over and over again as a development company. And you're not going to be able to make games that are what you've inspired. You're just not going to be able to make them. You dream of a game and then you'll never put it in the reality. So you're just going to get a bad rap over and over again. And you're going to get cut eventually because you just don't have the talent or the ability as a boss or owner to make it a reality. Make your reality a reality, or make your vision a reality, excuse me. And that's the shit that people run into. And I feel sorry, but only to a point, because the publisher isn't evil by far. He's giving you the resources you need to make the game. You had to talk to him about the time frame of the game. You had to give him an estimate of how long it would take, right? Within a feasible amount of give or, plus or minus. And then when you don't come through and they're pressuring you, it's all their fucking fault. It's not their fault. It's your fault for making a promise you can't keep. Seriously, it's your fucking fault. Your responsibility. It was your actions that caused it to be that way. Now, if you give a time frame to a publisher, you tell them how much it's going to cost approximately. You do the plus or minus on the other side. And you say, hey, look, this is, now we're going to start creating the game. And the publisher becomes impatient, doesn't want to wait for the time frame that you gave them. Needs a return on their investment because maybe one of their other divisions failed, or maybe they're being pressured by their stockholders and shit like that to try and get this game out beforehand so that they can see a profit off their investment. That's a different story. Then they're the piece of shit. But that's not usually what happens. It really isn't. What usually happens is you guys go over your time limits. Your promises that you made are not the promises that you keep. Your expectations far exceed your ability, to implement those systems in the game that you said you're going to implement, and that's where your shit goes wrong. And then when the publisher starts raising an eyebrow and pushing back, all of a sudden the publisher is the evil person, right? They're the evil corporation. How evil are they? Because they gave you an opportunity. If you can't work through to see that, bring that opportunity to fruition, are they the fucking evil ones for wanting their investment and their money? Because that's what the company's there for. You're there to develop a game. They're there to make money off of your fucking development. That's why they publish your shit. That's why they push it. They expect their investment. They come back to them. I mean, it's amazing in the gamer world when you hear this type of fucking talk about how evil a publisher is. Yeah, some of the publishers are assholes. Don't get it twisted even a little bit. But not all of them. If the model of the publishing company is to take, publish a developer's game and to invest in that game to make it, come to life, and then you're fucking up the progress of the game, or you can't move the needle enough to make the deadlines that you said you were going to make. You set the deadlines. I don't know of any company or any person that would walk into a meeting and go, "Hey, we're going to help you develop your game, but we want to develop your game in a year's time," right? Because they know nothing about your game to begin with. So you have to give them a proposal, and you have to tell them this is the time frame in which I think it'll take us to make the game. They're going to ask you because you are the developer, so it's your skills and it's your word on the line. And then when you say all the stuff that you say, and then you go, well, you know what? I oversold my abilities. That is not their problem then at that point, because their expectation was this, and it's because you told them the expectation. And then there's other companies who say, hey, look, I'm going to give you, 5 years to develop this game and $50 million or some stupid shit like that. I don't know if they do actually do that. But I know there's a premise, or I know there has to be people who have done that. Look, we're going to give you this amount of money to make this game. We're going to do this and that. They do their own little research. They ask everybody that they know within the company, how long do you think this game should take in order to play, if they have enough programmers and enough people to do all the stuff that they need to do. And I'm sure they diligently do their homework too, because they don't want to lose out on their investment. And then you come in and you make these promises you just can't keep because your goal is to make the game, right? That's all you've ever wanted to do is make the game. You'll make promises. You'll say, oh, yeah, I can do it in that time frame. Even if you don't believe that you can actually do it in that time frame, you'll say it because you want to make the game. And you'll bet against the fact that you'll be able to do it by saying, hey, I'll just get more people. We'll do this and that. We'll invest a little bit more money that we get back into the game, blah, 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 blah. And then when you don't reach that goal, it's the same thing. It's always somebody else's fault. It's never your fault. So, yeah. You got scumbag publishers and you got scumbag game developers too. Some of them game developers push their workers way too hard. But that's no different than a publisher trying to push on you. It's a scumbag tactic, but you need to see some kind of money. All right. Anyway, again, I talked enough, so do appreciate anyone who was listening or hearing me do the rant on gaming, especially two games that I actually like. One that seems like it's got a much better start, a much better future than the AAA game that I just tried to play. And I hope that if that game does succeed, you guys take notice and you start to see things. Gamers want certain shit. Start giving them what they want. You know what I mean? Stop focusing on what you think the publisher wants. Even what you want. Give the gamers what they want, because that's who you're appealing to. Your game vision is nothing if you don't have gamers to play it. So, all right.